Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Gone are the days of wrestling with our favorite LJN wrestling figures, trying to convince them to stand up. What's a guy to do? I'll tell you what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get on Etsy and look up 4 Left 3D Creations and get yourself these amazing custom LJN figure stands. There is a custom stand available for every single one of your LJN Wrestling Superstar figures. Make your display shine by grabbing these custom LJN stands from 4 Left 3D Creations today.
Hello, everybody. It's Jason Dump's New Age Revolution. It is The Cave, and it is a Monday night. And according to the new TN80s program lineup, it's LJN's Revisited. Yes, indeed, LJN's Revisited, the greatest toy line in the history of toy lines, the backbone of the channel. We now take a look at every individual figure, stories, and up-close looks at our favorite toys, our childhood toys, our dolls. Don't call them dolls. Wonderful little package in the mail today. Wonderful little package in the mail from a friend, David Garland, over at 4 Left 3D Creations. That's right. Series 3 of custom LJN stands right there in that box. And Series 3 is a thick series, so that's a thick box. That's a lot of stands in there, and I could not be more thankful to Mr. Garland. So we're going to add these stands to our channel lineup tomorrow. We will take a look at Series 3 custom LJN stands tomorrow. But right now, we're going to take a look at Series 2 LJN figures and Series 2 of David Garland's brilliant custom LJN stands from 4 Left 3D Creations on Etsy. Here's a little teaser for you. The figure that we're going to talk about tonight is this guy, Mr. Number Wonderful in his, that popped out. Mr. Number Wonderful in his custom LJN stand. Folks, right here, Paul Orndorff, Series 2 Paul Orndorff. Well, I guess that's how we can start off. Well, not my favorite figure. Definitely not my favorite figure at all. I think this is a grossly misshapen figure. I do. I think it's ridiculously too tall. And yes, Paul Orndorff was muscular, but this is a little bit over the top with the 20 pack there on his gut and ribs and the double bicep pose. I've never been a fan of that as far as playability goes. The face, I mean, it's just not my favorite figure. Look, back in the 80s, we didn't care about scale. We weren't too worried that a figure was too tall. But this was unusually tall. This is a very big. This is about an Andre size figure, and so it makes Orndorff during play, even as an 8-year-old, even as a 10-year-old, it makes Orndorff seem kind of like a beast, like a giant, like a large character, and he wasn't, So did he get a lot of play? Well, again, not my favorite figure. So he didn't get a lot of play. He got enough play only as bad guy. I can't do good guy Paul Orndorff. I just can't. And in fact, Paul Orndorff should have never done good guy Paul Orndorff. It just doesn't work. Paul Orndorff is one of the hardest hitting wrestlers I've ever seen. And I'm watching a ton of 1985 WWF. And in 1984 at 85, his matches versus enhancement talent on TV are difficult to watch because I feel really bad for the guy getting totally schnockered by Mr. Wonderful. He is stiff, or maybe I'm just a big dumb mark and he just looks stiff and he's really fine. But he's rough. Paul Orndorff is rough. In fact, Paul Orndorff, and again, watching his matches on TV, doesn't seem to go out of his way to protect his opponent from the pile driver either. I'm surprised more people didn't get injured from the Paul Orndorff pile driver. Again, I could just be some dumb wrestling fan and everybody's laughing at, all the wrestlers who watch this are laughing at me going, of course you thought it looked rough. Paul Orndorff's a beast. His figure, not so much. I've always, he has two gigantic eyeballs staring right back at you there on his pecs. I think those are called nipples. I think that's what they call them. But those are kind of pronounced as his abs. And what is this? His side abs? I mean, what's going on with Orndorff? Did I meet Mr. Wonderful? Yes, of course I've met Mr. Wonderful. And if you are any fan of the channel, you know the famous, as what it's become known as today, the famous Paul Orndorff, Jimmy Snuka meet and greet, dinner purchasing, spectacular orama, as I like to call it. The day that I met Jimmy Snuka and Paul Orndorff and was so starstruck, almost reduced to tears, I bought them dinner, or I paid for their dinner bill. And Mr. Wonderful was so thankful. He jumped up and hugged me and insisted that we take photos right there at the table. And then the very next day at the autograph signing, he remembered me again. And he was sitting next to George Steele, and he remembered me again, and he wrote a very beautiful 8x10. Just wrote more than just his name. And at the very bottom, he wrote the best line ever, P.S., thanks for dinner. And he was trying to tell George Steele that I had bought him dinner, and George Steele couldn't have cared less. It seemed completely oblivious. But
Can I come in?
Yeah. Stuff's covered up. Come on in. Hi. I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video.
I know.
So that's the Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff meet and greet story. Let's take a closer look at Paul Orndorff, Mr. Number Wonderful.
You met him?
Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Taking a closer look at Mr. Wonderful, but first focusing in on this beautiful custom LJN stand from 4 Left 3D Creations. Get on Etsy right now. I probably have this backwards, as he always tells me. Go on Etsy right now and type in 4 Left 3D Creations and get yourself some of these stands. It changes the game. Wait till you see the Series 3 lineup and how good it looks on my shelf. But here he is, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff with the, it's kind of a Jay Leno. It's Mr. Wonderful Jay Leno with the giant chin there. I know what they're going for with the Orndorff look. I get it. I think they got his hair pretty right. That 80s feathery parted down the middle hair. But the face not so much, and the body. I mean, look at the gigantic
Abs.
The what?
Abs.
Well, yes, the abs. He does have gigantic abs all the way across his.
Gee.
But he's also got these gigantic, pectoral. Well, they're nipples, ladies and gentlemen, is what it is. Those are giant Orndorff nipples. Very muscular legs again. I mean, they really were like, okay, Paul Orndorff is Mr. America. He's a professional bodybuilder, and we have to make it that way. So they really hooked us up with the muscles on Orndorff. Same for front and back, obviously.
Gee.
Very pronounced back muscles.
All of these like them?
No. Very pronounced, Mr. Wonderful. We get no OP on the trunks. That would have been cool. No OP. And I can't remember, did he have, whoops, oh boy. Too bad he wasn't in the custom LJN stand from 4 Left 3D Creations, or else that wouldn't have happened. Like I said, I didn't play much with him. He's just a misshapen, really rubber ball of muscle. But there he is, Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, as we wrap up, taking a closer look at the LJN Wrestling Superstars. Next Monday on the program, we will bring out Greg the Hammer Valentine, a much better figure than Mr. Orndorff. That is all.
Go check out Liam's Ultimate.
Go check out what?
Go check out Liam's Ultimate Games 2.
Oh, that's
please.
right.
I'm only at 44 subscribers.
That's
I
right.
need to get back up to 100.
You had more than 100 when your channel
I know,
died.
and now my friend is beating me in subscribers.
Okay, so go check out Liam's Ultimate Games 2
Yeah.
and support the boy. Goodbye.
Also-
You got to say goodbye. You want to still say more?
Also, subscribe to the Amazing Guy and Doctor on the Fire Reels. Thank you. Goodbye.
Dr. Nefario Real, and
Yes.
what about Half Dead Hornets?
And Half Dead Hornets official, we post all our band stuff on
That's
there.
your band's page.
Yes, so
Okay.
please go check out that and just go subscribe to them.
Yeah,
okay?
when are you going to cut that hair, you freaking hippie?